Alright, so we got the 396 spoilers, and the Uraraka versus Toga fight has officially ended in the previous chapter. Like, that was the ending of it. I'm sure we're going to come back to it to see, like, the full resolution of it. You know, what happened with Toga? Is she dead? Was she just arrested? But aside from that, we're coming back to Almight. That's right, because the chapter starts 20 minutes before the clones disappeared, with Almight remembering Night Eye's foresight and realizing that the villain he mentioned is probably All For One. If his prophecy hasn't been avoided yet, it most certainly refers to this fight. So the clones are talking about as the Twice clones, of course. But Night Eye's foresight basically said something along the lines that I'm paraphrasing here. But Almight is destined to die a gruesome death, like a really horrifying one. And he wondered what that was about or who was going to do it, and I thought it was going to be Shigaraki for the longest time. But if they're saying that it was referencing this fight right here, then I guess that's what it meant. We were also wondering, like, is All Might going to die? And it seems likely at that point too, you know, because of this whole prophecy thing with Night Eye. So I don't know if it's completely guaranteed at this point, especially since it's also saying it hasn't been avoided yet, because Night Eye isn't like 100% accurate. Like, we saw that Izuku can overcome his prophecy, so you know, it's possible All Might might as well. The car then turns into an armor that covers his entire body except for his mouth. After all, the people who smile are always the strongest. The armor is called the Armored All Might, and it replicates his hero costume, including the antenna hairs and cape. So yeah, this is it. This is All Might's Hulkbuster. This is the last time that we saw All Might going against All For One. As All For One, who is progressively getting younger, but more powerful as well due to Yujiko's experimental Eri quirk thing. He was able to defeat everyone and he left the battlefield, and as he was heading to Izuku, All Might met him halfway and then pulled out this suitcase and started transforming, and we assumed it was going to lead to some kind of armor, and it does. All Might asks Hercules, his car, to start recording the fight, and it says that it's already started. All Might then starts talking to Tsukuuchi, and Labrava sees an opportunity to get some views and wants to start a new stream immediately, but the cops are against it. Labrava says start stream in a very dramatic way, and the cops say stop pretending you're using your bankai or something. Tsukuuchi remembers the moment that All Might left the command room, saying that he would join the fight, and wonders if he has chose where he'll die. After all, it's impossible for someone without a quirk to face against All For One, no matter how many support items he had. And that is a good point. Like, it is fun to have All Might come back here, even if it means that he's using like a battle suit or something. I mean, it's better than nothing, but he still is on paper no match for All For One, who, like I said before, is getting stronger. Like, he has access to quirks that he couldn't use before, or at least that's the implication. And also, he doesn't have like his mangled body that he had before.
But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Flexispot. Flexispot is leading the kinetic furniture movement across the world. With advanced design and technology, they make furniture that's as seamless, sturdy, and eco-conscious as it is homey and comfortable. So guys, recently I just got the Flexispot Pro 3 stages dual motor bamboo electric standing desk, and this thing is amazing. Before I had a regular desk, which I was feeling really cramped at. Now that I have the Flexispot electric standing desk, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Also, the Flexispot electric standing desk can go from 24.4 inches to 50 inches high. It also has quiet dual motors with 65% more loading capacity, which is like up to 287 pounds. And I really put this to the test because I personally have a gigantic monitor. I mean, it's like comically big, and the Flexispot electric standing desk had no problem raising it to its highest level and holding it there. So guys, if you're looking to completely change your workspace, increase productivity, along with your general wellness, check out the link in the description because you'll be able to get your new Flexispot electric standing desk there. Thanks, guys.
Tsukuuchi tells Labrava to stop the stream because what's about to happen is a former hero getting brutally killed to buy a few minutes or maybe just a few seconds for his student. Cut to All For One, who knows full well that wasting his time here is pointless, but seeing the smile on All Might's face makes him lose control and he goes for it. All Might starts running and shouts Hercules, red, and what was left of the car forms a shield around him, protecting him from All For One's electrical beam that destroyed some buildings around. Hercules' voice warns him that 66% of the shield has been destroyed and that it won't be able to protect him from another attack. But All Might continues to smile, and the electrical beam destroyed All For One's own arm, but it's already healing. So this beam that they're talking about, I'm pretty sure is the same beam we've been seeing All For One use for the last couple chapters that he's been in. Like, he shot Gigantomachia with this thing, and it wrecked him. So you know it's super powerful. I mean, it already took away 66% of their shield. He tells All Might that this way of fighting, in which he moves forward without dodging, was only possible because he had One For All. But as soon as he tries to attack again, wires come out of the armor's arms. All Might shouts Black Whip. Just as it looks like All For One is about to rip the wires, All Might says Chadge Bolt, and lightning starts coming out of them. The electricity slows down All For One's regeneration and gives All Might time to get closer to him, using the wires in a technique he calls cellophane. So yeah, I guess that was Charge Bolt, since this is in reference to the student's abilities and whatnot. All Might starts saying that since their first fight, and also when he faced Nana, All For One always started with a big, long-range attack. His goal was to weaken his enemy and then steal One For All. But this way of fighting only works against those who have a quirk. So I expected something like this. Like, no way All Might was just going to get trashed right off the bat. That just would have been way too tragic. So I'm glad that All Might's able to get in like his tricks here, I guess you could say. But it does feel like it's only going to be short-lived. A new Hercules part comes flying in and attaches itself to his leg, propelling All Might's foot upward. La Brava taunts Suguchi, saying that nothing he said really happened, but he's speechless. All Might tells All For One that his armor and car were designed so that he could fight. If he could fight for just a little, that's enough for him. And who built these two items were the friend he made in the US. After being forced to leave Japan after Nana's death and his daughter, Melissa is watching the war on TV. So wow, I wonder if we actually are going to see like full-on Melissa in this chapter. Because before, when they were showing movie characters, they kind of just, I don't know, shot them at a different perspective, but they also haven't been saying Melissa's name at all in the manga as far as I remember. They would always reference like the person living in America or the friend living in America or something. And we expected that she was responsible for developing Deku's gauntlets because she was in the movie, but when he officially got them like in the manga, they just said like friend overseas or friend in America or whatever. So I'm glad that they're bringing at least the first movie fully into canon here because I think it deserves it if any of them. It's also my favorite. Like, I love the first movie. If you guys haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's pretty amazing. But Melissa is the daughter of David Shield, like All Might's friend that he made in America. Like, they're like the best at support stuff, I guess. Or at least Melissa currently is, because I don't know, if they're going fully canon, David is like locked up because of what he does in the movie. Spoilers. He then starts talking to Sukuuchi, and he says, "My friend, we have known each other for a long time, so you should know this. I've never went to a fight thinking I would lose." And All Might kicks All For One in the face with a shooting style smash. End of chapter. Alright, so All Might is back for now. And I wonder how many chapters we're going to get dedicated to this fight. Because this seemingly is like the final fight between All For One and All Might. And before, you know, I said I was hoping that they could have done a fight where they go against each other in the same way. Like All For One rewinding, and I think it would have been cool if All Might rewound as well, and he got his powers back from it. But this is better than nothing. I am really curious to see where this goes. I mean, it could lead to what I inevitably thought was going to happen regardless. Like if they were both going to be rewinding, All Might can stop All For One, and then they just rewind at the same time, or one a little bit after the other or whatever. But All Might ultimately sacrificing himself to take down All For One. But now I think that that's going to happen regardless. But now he's just using his Hulkbuster thing. But at this point, and especially since they said before about avoiding Night Eye's prophecy, I really hope that he survives now. Because a lot of us have already just accepted that All Might was going to die at this point. But maybe since they've talked about it so much, that means that it's not going to happen because we just thought that it was. I don't know, but let me know what you think about this in the comments, guys. And if you liked the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.